Two of the top free agent running backs linked to the Eagles, but should they pull the trigger on either one? We'll talk about that and a whole bunch more here on A to Z Philly. What is up, everybody? RB here. Welcome into the show. You know the drill. Hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any of the coverage. We're going to dive right into it. There's a lot to get into. The markets are starting to be very dense. There's a lot of rumors swirling around. Guys are getting cut left and right. It's going to be a premier free agency, and it's the perfect time for the Philadelphia Eagles. As you know, they definitely need to add some of these key free agents. We're going to get into all the rumors, the latest from today, and the running back stuff. But before we do that, question of the day. We talked a few weeks back about the safety position. And Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos has finally been released. All-pro safety, right? Pro Bowler. This guy has the most interceptions in the NFL since he joined it in 2016 with 30 picks. And the Broncos decide to move on from him just like they moved on from Russell Wilson. And it says it will save the Broncos $14.5 million against their salary cap. Pure salary cap move. They thought it was time to get rid of him. I'm surprised that they didn't trade him. But Justin Simmons is now available and can be had. We talked about this weeks ago. Obviously played under Vic Fangio, has that relationship. Should the Eagles go out and bring him back and reunite with Vic Fangio? I think it is an automatic yes. It makes too much sense. I think they should. Here's an update on the safety market. Justin Simmons, Jordan Poyer, Jamal Adams, Kevin Byard, released by the Eagles, Quandre Diggs, Rayshawn Jenkins, and Eddie Jackson. There are many players to be had. There's a lot of guys out there. And I think this move will make perfect sense. We'll talk about it more as we go on, but just wanted to hit back on that quickly because we discussed it before. I didn't think he was going to get cut, but here we are. You never know with sports, especially the NFL. Every day is a wonder. It really is. Give me your thoughts on that down below. Before we jump into the pure news of today, the thing you're really waiting to hear, let me give a shout out to our sponsor of today's show, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA. And get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Now, obviously, there's no type of odd for this, but if I was a betting man and had to put my money on it, I would put my money on Saquon Barkley joining the Philadelphia Eagles next year. That's right. That's right. Bring him home. Midnight Green. Saquon, get the revenge on the Giants. Let's do it. Let's do it. According to Howard Eskin, now you got to take it with a grain of salt, right? I'm not going to sit here and say Howard Eskin is some inside reporter. He's had reports before that he's hit on, but he's also had a lot that it's just, spewing out nonsense, okay? And per the WIP morning show, Howard Eskin was on there today, and he says the Birds have interest in signing Saquon Barkley. I asked the people out there tuning in, would you go after Saquon if you are the Philadelphia Eagles? There's a huge market right now for running backs. Just like the safeties, guys are getting cut left and right, and it's perfect time for, the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Like they need to capitalize on some of these big names, especially if they're going to be on shorter deals. And when you take a look at the updated market, per Diana Rossini, she says that many GMs are approaching the free agency as the running backs, the linebackers, and safety markets appear to be similar to the past, which is actually all the positions that the Eagles need right now. Lower deals than we may imagine, depressed market for those positions, a lot of one-year deals. This is literally the perfect opportunity. Eagles don't want to spend a lot of money, don't have a lot to spend. A lot of guys are going to be on prove-it deals. This is the time to chime in. You have to do a lot better than you did last year, especially if you want to get back to the promised land. And look, man, the Eagles need to chime in, especially with the reports of how the market are. So should they go after Saquon? Yes. Yes. Now, I know what you're saying. Saquon's cooked and this and that. It does feel like he's been in the league for 15 years. Am I right? It feels like he's been in the league forever. He's only been in the league for 6 seasons. 6. With the New York Giants. By the way, most of those years, the Giants have been putrid. This guy has put up 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He almost had 1,000 this past year, even though the Giants were tumultuous. He can also catch out of the backfield, which apparently, according to sources, Eagles are trying to find a guy that can do both. And, he grew up going to high school here in PA. He went to college, obviously Penn State. He knows the area. He knows the vibe. He knows what it's like to play at the link as a competitor as well. Now, again, the Eagles have tried things like this before. The DeMarco Murray thing did not work out. But if Saquon Barkley is not going to get a lot of guaranteed money, or any guaranteed money for that matter, and you're simply bringing him in, and he's trying to prove himself to other teams, and we know the running back market has a shorter shelf life, right? He's 27 years old. I get that. But what does it hurt? What does it hurt if the money is not going to be for multiple years and guaranteed? Like, I think this makes absolutely perfect sense. And I just think he would fit very well, right? This offense is going to be pass-centric with Kellen Moore. And, they want to get these guys back to form, the Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown connection, Devontae Smith, etc. So, yes, they need a back, but it's never the primary feature in this offense. And that would mean a lot less workload for Saquon Barkley. So, honestly, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I do think he would enjoy playing here. Now, in addition to that, we have Howard Eskin. Here's the quote from today. He says, "I didn't believe it, but I checked it, and they do have interest in Saquon. I think they're trying to work on something that would not be fully guaranteed. He's not going to get a ton." So, again, if that is the case, maybe there is someone out there that's going to overpay for Saquon. At that point, you can't really do anything. But based on what the Eagles like to do, based on their philosophy, right, they like to get these guys on cheaper deals, and, they end up usually producing more than they're expected to, just like DeAndre Swift. And that's why I think he's going to go elsewhere and get paid. I don't think he's coming back to Philly. If he does, I would certainly welcome DeAndre Swift back. I think he could have been used even a lot more than he did, even having 1,000 yards. And Howard Eskin says that they're looking for a running back that can also catch the football. I think that Swift can catch the football. I think he showed that in multiple games. He just never went back to it because the offensive structure and just the scheme overall of this team was absolutely destroyed. But when you look at Saquon Barkley, we get another report from Ryan Dunleavy, and he says Saquon of the Eagles is a real possibility. There's mutual interest. So maybe we could be cooking something up here, man. I would absolutely take Saquon on the Eagles. And the funny thing he mentions is that the Cowboys were a landing spot as well. So the Eagles may take Saquon from the Cowboys. He's really trying to stay in the division, isn't he? Saquon, don't go to the Cowboys. He again, went to school here. He understands, the passion of the Philadelphia fans. He knows that if he goes to Dallas, it's going to guarantee more losing. The Cowboys are not winning anything. And to be quite honest, they have their own struggles and issues as they're trying to re-sign Tony Pollard. And do you really want to go there, or do you want to be a more featured back here in the Eagles offense? Obviously, not the guy who's going to get, maybe be a 3-down back or get 30 carries a game here. But this team has a lot more potential to be better than the Dallas Cowboys based on, obviously the flunk last year and, just how they are going to bounce back with a new system. So, look, man, I think this would be a great landing spot for Saquon Barkley. Here's an updated market on the free agent running backs. Look at this list. You got Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Pollard, Ekeler, Edwards. I mean, this is crazy, man. DeAndre Swift, Kareem Hunt, Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins. Dude, there are so many players available. And again, the Eagles are going to need maybe 1 or 2 backs. And that brings me to another name on this list who does have rumored interest with the Philadelphia Eagles, and that is Austin Ekeler. According to the books, he is listed with the second best odds to come to Philadelphia. What do we think about Austin Ekeler? Would you take him over Saquon Barkley? Is he a better option? The Raiders are first at plus 450, and honestly, I could see him landing in a bunch of different spots. But again, similar to Saquon, right? There have been injuries. There have been concerns. The thing about Saquon is if he does stay healthy, and I know it's a big if, but if he does, he is probably the best running back on that list, one of the best in the entire NFL. And I'm not taking anything away from Ekeler. He's a very good player as well. We look at his stats. He's been in the league for 7 years, so he's 1 year older than Saquon. And, he can do both as well. He also fits the mold of a guy that can, stuff it right up into a defense or catch it out of the backfield. So Austin Ekeler, obviously before this last year, which was very poor for the Chargers, had 2 really good years, 12 rushing touchdowns, 13. Never had a 1,000-yard rushing season, but you combine it with his receiving. 2022, he had 1,600 yards. A couple years before that, he had 1,500. So, yeah, man, this guy's been a very productive back as well. Both of these guys are probably underpaid and looking for homes, but, coming off their recent injury history, they may not get the deals that they are expecting. So if they want to go to a situation where they're looking to probably win more, and oh, by the way, talking about connections and relationships, well, Austin Ekeler has a relationship with Kellen Moore, right? And he knows him. So, look, man, at the end of the day, I think the Eagles will have a lot of pull. Even though they had one of the worst collapses in history, I think they could be a destination primed to land some big names. I think Saquon Barkley, Austin Ekeler, even a couple other guys on this list like Josh Jacobs would be potential fits for the Philadelphia Eagles. But that's just where I stand. Howie needs to chime in. He needs to pull the trigger quickly. He cannot wait while these guys start going off the board. Now, maybe, they're going to wait a couple weeks till we get through some of this draft stuff and all that. But look, man, at the end of the day, these guys are out there. The market was crazy last year, and if the Eagles want to pick who they can get, they need to go out there and strike. Those are my thoughts. Give me yours down below in the comments section. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.